The world you know today could have been completely different with just one change in history. A single moment, a single leader, or a single decision could have shaped a future where the Roman Empire never collapsed. Think about waking up to the same sun, the same streets, and the same sky, but finding a golden eagle symbol on every building, every school, and every currency note. Instead of your country's flag flying outside government offices, a red banner with a Roman emblem would be waving proudly. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Instead of the familiar names on the world map, almost every region might fall under one enormous empire. It is the kind of world that feels strange, yet strangely familiar, and it makes you wonder how different your life would look if Rome had remained strong. The real Roman Empire fell slowly, almost painfully. It wasn't a single disaster. It was a long list of problems: weak rulers, constant invasions, economic troubles, corruption, and disease. Over centuries, these cracks spread until the empire finally crumbled. But history often turns on small details. If one capable emperor had risen at the right moment, someone who understood military strength, economic reform, and political unity, everything could have changed. One successful reform could have stopped the fall, and one powerful leader could have revived the empire with new strength. If that had happened, the world we live in today would be almost unrecognizable. A surviving Roman Empire would not stay small or quiet. Expanding was a core part of Roman identity. With stability restored, the empire would push outward for centuries. Europe would be fully Romanized. North Africa would stay under Roman control. The Middle East would be tightly integrated into the empire, and regions beyond would become long-term targets. Roman explorers might sail farther than they ever did in real history, possibly reaching India by sea, or even crossing the Atlantic long before Columbus. Large sections of the Americas could have developed under Roman influence, with Roman laws, Roman architecture, and Latin language shaping entire continents. A world ruled by Rome would sound different too. Instead of English dominating media, business, and the internet, a modern form of Latin would be the global language. Your movies, music, and lessons in school would be in Latin. Greeting your friends, ordering food, or even using technology would involve words born in ancient Rome, but shaped over 2,000 years of continuous change. The shared language would create a strange mix of unity and familiarity across the empire, connecting people from Africa, Europe, the Middle East, and possibly even the Americas under one linguistic family. Technology would be one of the biggest differences. The fall of Rome triggered centuries of lost progress, often called the Dark Ages. Without that collapse, human development would not have slowed. Roman engineering was already impressive. They built roads still used. Today, aqueducts that carried water across huge distances, strong concrete structures, heated buildings, and massive stadiums. If that level of innovation continued without interruption, new breakthroughs would appear much earlier in history. Electricity might have been discovered centuries sooner. Steam engines could have appeared in the medieval period. Industrial machines, medicine, navigation technologies, and even early flight might have emerged hundreds of years before they did in our timeline. By now, technology could be generations ahead of what we currently have. Culture would evolve in a unique way under such a massive and long-lasting empire. Roman festivals might still be major global celebrations today. Saturnalia, a Roman winter holiday full of feasts and gifts, could become a worldwide tradition, blended with other local customs. The empire had a habit of absorbing and reshaping other cultures, not destroying them. Over centuries, a massive blend of traditions from Africa, Europe, and Asia would develop into a shared cultural identity, creating a world where people from different regions understand each other's celebrations and beliefs more naturally than today. However, a stable empire also brings heavy control. The Roman government valued order above everything else. That means the world might be safer in some ways, but more controlled in others. Daily life would involve more rules. You might see government officers or soldiers patrolling streets, not violently, but constantly present. Travel would require official permissions. Business would need imperial approval. The empire would maintain detailed records of citizens, their professions, and their movements. Stability would be high, but personal freedom could be limited. Many modern democracies wouldn't exist. Leaders might not be chosen by public vote. Instead, regional governors appointed by the emperor would run provinces. Power would stay highly concentrated at the top. Scientific progress would grow steadily because Rome valued practical knowledge. They were strong in engineering, medicine, mathematics, and astronomy. If their scientific communities continued developing without interruption, medical science would be extremely advanced today. Diseases like plague or smallpox might have been cured centuries ago. Hospitals would likely be built like massive research centres, combining ancient Roman organisation with futuristic technology. With continuous progress, the world might have reached major medical breakthroughs far earlier than our real history allowed. Architecture would be one of the most visible differences. Modern cities might be full of structures inspired by ancient Roman design, but built with advanced materials. Marble buildings with glass roofs, aqueducts redesigned to carry clean water using high-tech systems, giant arenas with holographic displays, and perfectly planned cities with wide roads, beautiful fountains, and lush public gardens. Rome believed in symmetry, beauty, and long-lasting construction. Instead of random city layouts, the world might be full of carefully designed urban spaces that feel both ancient and futuristic. If Rome had reached the Americas, the cultural mix there would be extraordinary. Indigenous cultures and Roman culture would blend. Temples, sculptures, traditional clothing, and Roman baths might stand side by side. Roads built using Roman engineering would cut across large territories. Cities might develop in unique styles combining native designs with Roman structures. Instead of Spanish or English influence dominating the Americas, Latin influence would connect everything under one imperial identity. Global conflict might also look very different. Many modern wars happened because nations competed for power. But if most of the world was controlled by one empire, large-scale wars like World War I and World War II might not happen. Instead, political struggles would be internal, power fights within the empire, regional independence movements, or battles for the throne. The scale would be different, but the tension would still exist, just in another form. The way people learn and think would change too. Roman education focused on rhetoric, logic, philosophy, and public speaking. These skills might be taught globally from childhood. People would grow up with strong communication skills, a deep understanding of law and history, and a disciplined mindset. Knowledge and learning might be respected even more in society, creating a population that values logic and intellectual debate. The position of women would likely evolve slowly but steadily. Rome was not extremely equal, but it did allow talented individuals to rise. Over centuries, as the world modernized, women could gain strong roles in politics, military, and education earlier than in our actual history. A long-lasting empire that stretches across cultures might discover the value of equal contribution earlier. But this alternate world raises a final, important question. Would it be better or worse? On one side, you would see unity, advanced technology, organized cities, and possibly fewer global wars. On the other side, freedom might be limited, democracy might be rare, and individuality might be weaker. A world that evolves under one enormous power could be stable, but also strict. Efficient, but not always fair. Advanced, but controlled. The thought of looking out your window and seeing Roman-style buildings, soldiers in modern armour, Latin language signs, perfectly planned streets, and ancient traditions mixed with futuristic life creates a strange mix of wonder and unease. It shows how fragile history is, how one different decision in the past could reshape everything we know today. A world where the Roman Empire never fell isn't just a different timeline, it's a reminder that our reality is built on luck, mistakes, victories, and fragile turning points. And with one of those turning points reversed, the world you live in right now would be a world that never existed.